Hey everyone, Dr. Foster here, the success coach with MaximumChange.com. Thought I'd jump on here and ask you a question. Do you know how to set goals? Are you a goal setter? Do you know how to set extraordinary goals? I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about goal setting. The problem that I see with goal setting as a coach is that a lot of times people, where is it? Here it is. A lot of times people will write down their goals and then that's it. They'll write them down in their book and they forget about them. So what I want to do is I want to introduce to you this idea of not just writing down your goals, but spending time looking at goals, enhancing your goals, tweaking your goals, and working on them. But before we do that, we have to talk about how do we even develop these extraordinary goals that we're going to have for ourselves. And so I wanted to spend some time, and I'm going to just mention my book called, and this is Discovering Your Purpose, Igniting Your Passion. This is a book that's written from a faith perspective. So if you're not a Christian, I'm just giving you a heads up. It's based off of Romans 11:29 that says the gifts and calling of God are irrevocable, because I believe that you have a purpose and it's ignited by your passion. And so what we're going to talk about is goal setting is tied uniquely and directly to your passion, which is bound to your purpose. So I'm going to kind of jump around in that, but here's the deal. You need to have goals that are outcome focused. Why you have to know why you're doing what you're doing, but then you have to know what the outcome is. You know why you're doing it. You want to be out of debt. You want to build a business. You want to whatever. But the outcome of your goal is what's important. So if you just say, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, that's an outcome, but there's so much more to that outcome than a station in your bank account, because there's a time period tied to that, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. There's what are you going to do with that money? There's so many different things. You could say, I want to be famous. Well, what does that mean? What does it mean? You have to have an outcome, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. Your goal needs to be in alignment with your values. What do you value? What is the innermost core values to you? And so you need to make sure that your goals align with those values. And they need to be stated in a positive format. So you could say something like, I want to have a healthy lifestyle, rather than saying, I want to stop being obese. So you see there's a positive and a negative for that. Now, when we're dealing with goals, you need to make sure that they're what I call SMART goals. And by the way, I list those out in my book called, and they're specific, measurable, action-oriented or actionable, realistic in time. So let me just talk about that. Specific means that you know exactly what you're trying to achieve. Okay, the who, what, when, why, where, how. You know exactly what you want to achieve. Specific. Be as specific as possible. Measurable. You need to know when you've achieved it. You need to know how you're doing as you're on your way. So here's the deal. As I'm traveling down the highway, I'm going on a trip, and I'm in my car, and I know I live in Southern Ohio, and I travel to Nashville quite often because we have friends and family in the area. And so I know that it takes about 5 hours to drive from Cincinnati to Nashville, Tennessee. And I also know about how many miles it is. So when you're driving down the highway, you're able to measure how far you've gone two different ways: by the amount of time you've been on the road and by the mile markers that you pass. So you need to be able to measure not just when you've gotten there, but measure how you're doing along the way. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. a goal, so that's specific, measurable. The next one is action-oriented or actionable. You have to be able to do something about it. And here's the example. We just had a Super Bowl a couple weeks ago, and if you were to say, I'm going to make sure that my team's going to win, okay? Now let's assume it wasn't the Patriots. You're saying, my team's going to win. The question is, can you truly act on that goal that your football team is going to win the Super Bowl? Or whatever, fill in the blank. The truth of the matter is, being an armchair quarterback is not action oriented to get the job done. You have to be able to do something. You have to be in the game to be able to act on your goal. So actionable means you can actually do something about it. If I say that I am going to drive to Nashville, Tennessee, and we assume I have a car and I have the finances to put gas in the car and I have the physical time to do it, then I know that it's action oriented. I can do something about it. I can get in the car, I can drive and go, and I have 5 hours to get there. Then the next one, so specific, measurable, actionable. The next one is realistic. Is your goal realistic? Again, that goes back to the question of, can you really make sure your football team wins the championship? Well, it has to be achievable. You have to be able to achieve it if it's your goal. So specific, measurable, actionable, realistic. And then the other one's time-bound, or to make it short, timed. It has a deadline. You can't just say, I'm going to be a millionaire. Okay? I can say that too. How are you going to measure that you're on your way to a millionaire? Well, how much money's in the bank? Can you do something about it? Sure, I can make money. I can write books. I can speak. I can blah, blah, blah. Is it realistic? I think anyone can make $1 million or more. But the question is, what is the time for that? When is it time bound? In other words, when is the deadline? If you say to me, I am going to be a millionaire on January 31st, 2021, that's a time. The question is, can you measure it? Sure, I know how to measure it. I can measure in the format of money in the bank. I can measure format in time spent getting there. Is it action-oriented? Sure, I can do things to make money. I can save money. I can stop spending money. I can do more speaking gigs. I can write more books, sell more books. Sure, there's a way to action-orient that goal. Is it realistic? I think it's realistic. Time-bound, yes, I know when it's going to end. Okay, so let's talk about this idea of focusing on the outcome now that we understand what a SMART goal is. What is it that you really want? You got to dig deep when you're developing an outcome. What is it that you want really bad? What do you want here? So be specific on your outcome. What is the specific outcome that you're looking for? You have to know what it is. If you're going to develop a truly extraordinary goal and you're going to move toward that extraordinary goal, you have to know what you really want. What is your outcome? What is the specific outcome you're reaching? And then as you're traveling through that thought process, what is the pain that is in store for you if you do not achieve that goal? In other words, what's your pain point for not achieving the goal? Well, you could say, I want out of debt. Okay, that's a negative goal. But you say, I want to be a millionaire so that I can get out of debt. So your pain point is, if I don't make the money, I don't get out of debt. The pain is the debt. Okay? Now let's talk about aligning your values to this goal. Is the goal in line with your life vision, your overall life plan? Now here's the thing. If you don't know, what is your gut feeling about it? If you don't know what your life plan is, what do you feel about it in your gut? I would say to you that if you don't have a life plan or a vision for your life, maybe you need to take a moment and start thinking about a vision statement for yourself. Is the goal in line with your values? Ask yourself, what is it that's really important to me in my life? And will this goal help me to achieve more of that? Values can be moralistic. In other words, you don't want to do anything that cheats, steals, or hurts other people. But values can also be what you aspire to have happen in your life, what's really important to you. What's really important to me is that I get to travel and have fun with my kids and my wife, and that I get to give money philanthropically, that I get to help other people. My values are that I get to help other people build powerful, life-changing, world-changing businesses. So what is your value? Are your goals something that you truly want? Or are they something that you think you should have or that you should be doing? There's a difference between what you think you should be doing and what you really want. Maybe I should be mowing the grass, but what I really want to do is build my business. Okay? If it's a should, then maybe it's someone else's dream. It's not my dream to mow my grass. And to be quite honest with you, let's see, it is 30 degrees outside. I don't think I'm going to be mowing grass today, thank goodness. But my point is, maybe it's someone else's dream to have a lawn care business where they mow the grass and they're passionate about lawn care. That's not me. Maybe someone's passionate about home repairs. I bought this sander the other day to do some home repairs. The battery's not in it right now. But that's not my passion. So I do it to have fun or to be responsible around the house, or I don't want to spend several $100s to do something that takes me 5 minutes to fix. But it's not my passion. So maybe that's someone else's dream to have a home repair business. Why not? I'm going to get out of the way on that one. When you think about your goal, does it give you a sense of deep commitment or rightness, happiness, or excitement? I'm going to tell you right now, owning my own business, helping other people through consulting, coaching, mentoring, being an advisor, that is what is right within me. It's rightness. It creates excitement and happiness for me that I get to help other people find and experience their greatest dreams and desires in their life. If you could have that goal right now, would you take it? In other words, if someone said, here it is right now, would you take it, or would you be like, I'm not ready for it? That's a clue as to whether or not it's in alignment with your values. And then finally, how does that goal fit in with your life or lifestyle? Now, you need to think about it in the form of time, effort, commitment, what else might be impacted. So if you're saying, I want to start my own business, well, the question is, do you have the time? Do you have the effort? Do you have the commitment? Will your family buy into it? If you have a spouse, are they okay with it? Is it going to take time from your kids? All of these things need to align with your values. Now, the next area is, what kind of obstacles can get in your way when it comes to goal setting and setting up an extraordinary goal? Can you start and maintain that goal or that outcome? Do you have complete control over achieving it? In other words, maybe you want to start a business, but you don't have the ability to start it or maintain it because you have a family situation going on. Maybe there's someone that needs a lot of time focused in your family. Maybe you have a family member, a parent or something that is needing physical help. Or maybe you have a child that has a need for some extra help or whatever. How will making this change affect other aspects of your life? What else might you need to deal with? In other words, if you're going to go to work for yourself, how does that affect your relationship with your spouse, your significant other, your family, your children? You have to know what the obstacles are going into it. So when you're thinking about obstacles, though, ask yourself, what's good about the current situation? In other words, what's the secondary gain for staying right where you are? In other words, you don't do anything. You decide, I'm good with this. I run into people all the time that say to me, I'm happy working a 9-to-5 job. And I'm like, God bless you. I hate working for other people. Sometimes I hate working for me because it's work. But you know what? I love helping other people. And I can't imagine working on someone else's dream where it doesn't feed my purpose and passion in life. So, what is good about your current situation? Maybe there's a gain for you just staying right where you're at. And how can you keep those good aspects while still making changes? In other words, you've identified, these are great things in my life. My wife's great, my kids are great, blah, blah, blah. How do I maintain that while going forward into my extraordinary goals, pursuing those goals? Is there something important around achieving the goal? In other words, to help you succeed, or maybe to get out of your own way? Maybe these are things you haven't mentioned yet. What would it be? What is an important thing around this goal? You need to really think about it. Why are you doing this? Why would you want that? Who will you have to be to achieve the goal? Now, this is a really deep question. Who do you have to be to achieve your goal? Maybe you need to be more well-read. Maybe you need to get books. Maybe you need to read articles. Maybe you need education. Maybe you need a mentor or a coach. Who are you going to have to be to achieve? I'm going to tell you right now, who you are today is not the same person you will be when you achieve your goal. You will have evolved or changed or gotten better in that regard. Now, let me talk about goal sizing for a minute. Is the goal the right size to be working on? In other words, if you're an entrepreneur or business owner and you say, my goal is to be a billionaire by whenever, the question is that really the right goal? Maybe for you right now, the goal should be that you need to be making $10,000 a month to replace your current, income plus some. It doesn't mean that $1 billion can't be one of your ultimate goals. What I'm saying is that it goes back to that realistic. Can I truly be a billionaire in the time frame I've set? Well, then maybe we need to goal size and we need to adjust the goal to the current situation. So instead of saying I'm going to be a billionaire or a millionaire, maybe I'm just needing to be happy with making $10,000 a month. So here's another way to look at goal sizing. If it's too big, break it down into smaller goals. If it's too small, fit some together for a bigger goal. But here's what I know. The best way to eat an elephant is in smaller bites. Okay, you can't eat it all at once. What would be the minimum super easy level of goal to achieve? Well, maybe you'd say, well, my goal is to get 1 client a month. Okay, maybe that's too easy. What if you needed a goal that was going to push you a little bit? Well, I need 5 clients a month. Okay, that sounds realistic, maybe. What would be your target level of goal to achieve? Well, if you have 5 clients and you're charging, $5,000 a month, that's $25,000 in income. So maybe you might want to say my target income every month is $15,000 or $10,000. What would be the extraordinary level of goal achievement? Well, if you said my monthly goal is 10, what would be extraordinary? What would be extraordinary is the $25,000, $30,000 a month to start out with. That's not to say that you will always and forevermore, amen, be there. All right. So let's talk about resources right now. How do you get moving on these goals? So you might want to ask yourself, what resources do I already have that will help me achieve these goals? These are things, these are people, maybe you have contacts, personal qualities, skills, education, information, finances, and so forth. Create a list. Create a list of all the things that you have in the way of resources to achieve your goal. But then you also need to have resources that you still need to achieve, and create a list for that. Now, maybe you need a coach or mentor. I'd encourage you to get one, whether it's me or someone else. You really need someone who can speak into your life and help you to achieve more. Remember, goals are there to inspire you, not to beat you down or to help you beat yourself up. Goals are all about maintaining a level of optimism and focus, okay? They're not about degrading you and capturing you into this mindset that's difficult. So I want to just mention to you, if you need help with these things, I would love to get with you. Or I would also invite you, today is February 13th at the recording of this. I am offering a very special offer. If you're watching this video after that date, I'm sorry that this is old information at that point. But on February 15th, I'm ending this special pricing on my Master Academy and Mastermind. It's presently at $79. We normally charge $195 a month. So you'll want to check that out. Go to my website at MaximumChange.com. The link is right over here on the side, right here. And or maybe it's below. I don't know how your screen is configured. But my point is this: get help, get going. You can set achievable goals, and if you work hard on them, you definitely can achieve them. Now, I also want to mention to you again, called Discovering Your Purpose and Igniting Your Passion. It is listed on my website under the resource page. However, you can go to Amazon.com. This book is available both in digital format and printed format. I actually published this book in 2017, so it's only a couple years old. But I wrote this book over about a 10-year period. And we talk a lot about goals in here. In fact, on page 93, I go into some goals, and we talk about the SMART goals in here. And so this is a really good tool for helping you develop your purpose and passion. See, here's this SMART goal, and that's on page 100 and so on. So check that book out. It is available on Amazon, and you can get it in both print and digital format. So I'm Dr. Foster, and I am the Success Coach. I'm a business coach, executive coach, consultant, and mentor. I work with entrepreneurs all around the world to help them build better businesses, stronger businesses, and I'd love to help you. Hope you have a great day, and I hope this was valuable to you. Please like this video and comment on the video. I'd love to hear from you. I have some requests for time management, so hopefully we'll be able to do that in the next day or so. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.